and welcome to Being Based with Brooke, and today I have a Charlie Kirk video titled, "This is what your children become when you send them to college." And I haven't seen it yet, but I am excited to see what this video has in store, especially with a title like that. So let's just get into it today and watch some people be stupid.
Hello.
Hi. About that, well, first question, why can't marriage be allowed with two men or two women? That question got me.
Yeah, so I mean, allowed and what it is are two different things. So again, just strictly from what marriage has always been is the idea of two separate parts coming in a union.
I mean, yeah, it is allowed, right? It's allowed, you're allowed to do it. I don't think that he thinks that you shouldn't be allowed to do it. I'm pretty sure this man stands on, free will and have the freedom to do as you please and as you choose. So I'm pretty sure he doesn't say that you're not allowed to do it. I think what it is that he stands on is you really shouldn't do it. And that is something, shouldn't do it is very different than allowed. I don't think that you should do it because I think that a man and a woman are the best of, each other. Like we're opposites. I think that we get the best out of each other when we date each other, and I don't think that a man and a woman and a woman really are two couples that were made to co-op with one another. But again, it's all about choice. If you choose to do it, that's on you.
To be able to have, hopefully, a lifelong partnership to raise kids, adopt kids, or have kids, and to become better versions of themselves. It is the attraction of opposites. And so if you want to redefine marriage, that's fine, that's your contention, but I take a classical view of marriage.
Based on, what is that based on what? The Bible?
The natural law.
Is that the Bible?
Well, natural law is separate than the Bible, but it's harmonic with the Bible, that's correct.
Okay.
I would say that a man and a woman really I think the reason to why is we just really bring the best out of each other. And a man and a man can't have a baby. A woman and a woman can't have a baby biologically with one another. And a man, if they aren't able to really do natural things like that, then maybe perhaps it's not natural.
Because what would you say? What is the purpose of marriage?
Marriage is like, I love you, you love me. Let's get together.
Yeah, yay and nay. I think marriage is more built on, we love each other. You can love someone and not want to be married to them, though. I think what it is built on is that you guys have a friendship, a bond with one another that is like no other. You guys are best friends with one another, and you guys are going to have each other's back to thick and thin. And, love comes with that, but I don't think that marriage doesn't necessarily mean love, because you can love a lot of bad people. That doesn't mean you should be married to them, right? Of course, there's going to be, there's, I guess, different types of love. That would be the argument there. But I just don't think that saying, I love you, you love me, let's get married, let's be together, it's not really the best thing. I think what it is you need to find that person that best suits both of you guys. You guys are able to coexist with one another. You guys, having each other's back and not being, getting the ick or whatever these people like to call it. There's a lot that really goes into it when you pick your person, but I think most of it is having that level of friendship and trust between one another. I don't know, I just think that love is just not a very good word to use for it.
25-year-old marry an 8-year-old.
No.
Why?
Because that 8-year-old is not ready. They
got it. So at
are
some
not
point,
adults.
so then let's build out your definition more then. Mm-hmm. Love each other, but also what? What is the purpose? What is the destination of marriage?
We are two adults. We love each other.
Fair enough. Okay, we love each other. End of story.
Well, let's give me another thing, and maybe I'll add to it.
Okay, but is that it? Is it about union, partnership, friendship?
I think it's just let's get our taxes good,
You guys need to be able to build things with one another. You guys need to be able to build families and hopefully your businesses, your finances, depending on depends on the couple. You need to be able to build that trust and that family with each other. And
let's just get married. Like, I don't think there needs.
I think the end goal of marriage, personally, in my opinion, the end goal of being married is finding that person that you can trust with your whole heart, finding your best friend, that person that will never leave you, that person that you can trust to see you at your most vulnerable. In building a family, building a life, building something with one another that is just so absolutely special. I think that that is the purpose of it. I think the purpose of being with someone is to be able to build things with someone, so when you fall, that person is there to help you pick up, and when they fall, you can be there to pick them up.
To be some big.
I just feel like relationships have been just so simplified. Maybe we can blame Disney a little bit for this, but relationships have been just so simplified to like, oh, I find you attractive and I had this feeling for you. And that's just really not how that's just going to be, because let's face it, right? And I'm going to be real. You're not always going to love that person you're with at the end of the day. You're not always going to love them, but loving them, that is like that does not matter. Just because you're not always in love with that person doesn't mean you shouldn't stick by that person, right? That doesn't mean that that's not the person that you choose to be with. Sometimes you're going to probably hate the person that you're with, and you're going to be annoyed with that person, and that is okay. I mean, obviously talk out what it is that you have with that person that you need to unravel. You're going to feel sometimes not always the happiest, but the thing is about relationships is whether or not you work past that, right? If you can work past that and still choose to be with that person, because at the end of the day, and you care about that person, and at a true like intimate level, then I mean, there you go.
Crazy
no, that's
reason.
Actually, no, I'm not attacking you. I think marriage is holy. And by holy, I don't just mean it in a religious sense. Holy means separate, meaning it should be elevated. It should be celebrated. It's something that is so above the rest. And you just think it's like a tax advantage. And that's fine, because actually most Americans agree with you.
Yeah.
I think marriage is something where we should drop everything like, wow, two separate parts have just made a lifelong covenant with one another to learn about the other and to grow with each other, and it's difficult. And I think that we've lost that.
It is very beautiful. I agree with him. Marriage is very beautiful. A lot of us now, we either jump into marriages. That's why there's so many divorces. We don't really actually like the person we're with or care about them.
I mean, I'm Jewish, and like in Judaism, there's the there's the when you get married, the religious marriage, and then there's the government marriage. Like you have to get married twice, basically. So I think what you're talking about is probably the religious marriage, like with a priest. I'm talking about governmental marriage.
I'm even talking about government. I'm just saying traditionally our governmental marriage. Again, I'm in the vast minority of opinion.
Okay, so I knew that like government got involved when you got married. I've never been married. I don't know if you could tell. I've never been asked to be married. I don't know if you could tell. But I'm pretty sure when the government get involved, it's just to say that you're together and maybe a few other things. Number one, wouldn't you count your government marriage to be like your religious? Because I'm pretty sure when you get married through the government, you just have to sign some papers and then you're married through the government, and then you get married and do all that other stuff. I don't know. I always just counted it as the same thing. I didn't think that they were supposed to be separate, I guess is what I'm trying to get at here.
In the country, this has been the classical view that it's a man and a woman coming together in something sacred and something holy or elevated. Again, that's not...
I would say that's just a Christian marriage.
It's not necessarily Christian. In Judaism, in traditional rabbinical Judaism, Orthodox, homosexual marriage is not recognized.
That is true.
So it's not Christian. In Islam, homosexual marriage is not recognized.
Okay.
So it's not just Christian.
Okay.
So it's Abrahamic.
Abrahamic.
All right, we agree.
Why do we care if there's no father? I grew up without a father. I feel like I'm doing fine. I'm doing great.
Okay, so right. I'll let her finish.
I'm in college. Like, why are we so towards the father? Why does he need to be there so much?
Okay, so I just want to answer this because this is also another thing that I have. I feel very deeply about, right, is father homes. My dad has always drilled this one into my head. Fathers and mothers are both very important. I hate I hate the conversation that's online that's like, oh my god, mothers are less important than fathers. No, we are both equally as important. We are important in different ways and in different parts in life, but we are both equally as important. Okay? Well, you could start off with that. But let's recognize something here. I ended up losing contact with my father at a very young age. The time that I had my father, I appreciated him in the way that he has. So I actually have seen kind of both sides. I've had a father and I actually been without one, right? So I could talk about both. So the reasons to why a father is important is because fathers, especially with little girls, give little girls a sense of confidence in themselves. Don't know exactly how it works, but it has been shown and proven that when a little girl has grown up in a house full with a father versus a little girl that grew up in a house without a father, the little girl with the father has obviously knows her self-respect a lot more. She doesn't let trash men walk all over her. She doesn't invite trash men into her temple, if you know what I mean. She doesn't make as promiscuous mistakes as fatherless women, right? Versus a woman with or without a father, you see it everywhere. I've seen strippers. I've talked to strippers. I've asked them questions. A lot of them don't have fathers, or they have stepdads that didn't come into their life that they always hate. But a lot of them don't have actual fathers in their life. So you can see that there's obviously some sort of behavior that comes with fatherlessness, and it's not to say it doesn't happen all the time, because I strive to not act like that, even when I would fit the stereotypes of a fatherless woman because I don't have a dad. You can not act like that and still not have a father, but on average, women without fathers do act more promiscuous. Let's move on to boys. Now, I've always heard the argument that boys with mother issues are a lot worse than boys with father issues, but I would disagree there with you full-heartedly, is because a boy without a father in the home tends to not always raise the strongest of boys. It doesn't really make the men as strong. And if you look at records and reports and stuff, boys without fathers in their homes are more times likely to abuse substances and women and things like that. They're weaker men, versus when a man has grown up with a father in their home, they're a lot more stronger of a man, and they take on that responsibility as a man. Fatherlessness is something that has been more rampant than motherlessness, though, and that's why fatherlessness is talked about more than motherlessness, right? And so that's another thing we can also have a discussion upon. Women can't run away from their babies. Well, now they can just go to an abortion clinic or something like that. But a woman, if they give birth to their baby, is more likely to keep the baby than to give it up for adoption, because you have that connection now. But a man doesn't really get that connection to the baby until they actually hold it a lot of the times. So that's why men are more likely able to dip. But to women, that's why I would say, if your body is the body that's able to hold the dang baby, and if you're the one that can suffer the consequences of holding the dang baby and having a father dip, wouldn't you be the one to hold yourself more conservatively to prevent something like that happening? I mean, yes, we can have the conversation about how it's bad that men can just dip, but we can also have the conversation about how there is still some self-responsibility there, right? Anyways, another rant. Sorry, I'll stop yapping.
So just try to answer my question for me. Do you think, what kind of is there any time, and you're being very vulnerable, and I appreciate that, when you were growing up, and maybe not, where you said, I wish I had a dad around?
My mom says I did wish for that once, at wishing well. But my mom was great. She supported me, provided me.
Sure. No, I'm not. There's not a knock on single moms.
Right.
But was there ever a time maybe where a more masculine figure would have been helpful?
I can't really, not off the top of my head.
I can give quite a few answers to that. I do know in my teenage years, a masculine figure would have been plenty of help. And I have seeked out masculine figures. And I've had people who were basically like my father, who took on that father-like role for me, like my grandpa and one of my uncles. So I have sought and looked for a masculine figure, and I found one, and we, so yeah, I mean, I can acknowledge that. Yeah, yes, that's, and it's normal. That's not something to be ashamed about. It's part of being a woman. It's part of being a human, is seeking out that opposite like figure, especially as a little girl, as a kid. You want to seek out that masculine role as a father because you need one, right?
Like,
Okay.
what? Can you give me an example of
Yes.
when a masculine figure would be helpful
when
in my life?
a boyfriend might have broke up with you and you didn't want to talk to your mom because she just didn't get it, and you wanted a strong, stable man to say you're beautiful.
I think, I mean, I have, if my father was like, "You're beautiful," I, that'd be cool. But like, if my mom was also like, "You're beautiful," I don't really see a difference between.
Okay. No. So there is a big difference. But so God. There is a difference between the love between a daughter and a mother and a father and a daughter, right? We can acknowledge that. We know this.
Between like my mom saying it and my father saying
Wow.
it.
Okay. Yeah. That's. I don't see the world that way, because there's being a father to a daughter. There's a very unique bond between a father and a daughter, where it's you fall in love again, but not romantic love. You fall in a different type of Greek love, which is called storge, which is a father-daughter love, where you have such affection for this incredible being, and your task is to shepherd that vulnerable, innocent girl through life all the way up until the marriage aisle, to kind of connect the two topics together, right?
Wow.
Where then you hand it off to another man, because women are worthy of protection.
So you're saying like there has to be a man in the woman's life.
Not
The
has
woman
to,
can't be
not-
like alone.
no, there are exceptions.
That's not what he's saying at all. You're purposely not understanding what it is that he's saying. Obviously, what he is saying is that a woman deserves to have a masculine role in her life to protect her, because women are divine, women are beautiful, and they deserve protection. That is what he is saying there. And if you can't hear that, then you are purposely misunderstanding his argument. You're going, over there making them damn faces, because you are purposely trying to make him look bad. You are purposely doing this when you know what he is trying to say is that women are so amazing. Women are girls and women. They're just so amazing. They're so beautiful. They're just such amazing beings that they deserve a masculine man to give up his life and everything to protect this girl and protect this being from any harm whatsoever. That is what he's saying, and to me that is very noble. To me, that is one of the most amazing and honorable things a man can say. That right there is the difference between a man and a boy. That right there, that is beautiful. I love that he said that. That is amazing. I love Charlie Kirk, so I praises to him all around. Praise, praise, praise. I love this man. I always see him come up on my YouTube shorts or on my TikTok. I love this man with so much. I love everything he has to say. He's just so passionate, and he does it in a way that I will one day strive to be as smart and brilliant as this man. Oh my god. Love him. If you would like to see my deep dives and not my reaction like videos, I'm going to be trying to post at least one every week or so. I'm trying to get myself on a better schedule. I want to post a lot more and take this as seriously as I possibly can. Anyways, guys, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like down below. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I hope I can catch you in the next one.